All right. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Movie Emporium's movie review of Morbius, the newest film from director Daniel Espinosa. Now, before we begin, if you like this video, it's awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button as well as commenting below on any videos you watch, including this one. Don't you just love movies that, deal with blood diseases and vampires and a doctor who lives in the Marvel universe who has that blood disease? He uses bats to cure himself, and then on top of that, he has a friend who has the same blood disease. He takes the medicine, becomes a bad guy, and all hell breaks loose, and the good guy, who's an anti-hero, has to turn himself into, drinking people's blood. And have you ever seen The Lost Boys? Well, that's what this movie tries to be. It tries to be a vampire movie with some really cool, aesthetics, stuff like that. And it's about a guy who has a blood disease that finds a cure that ends up turning himself into Morbius. And so, as you can tell from my reaction to this movie, I was not looking forward to this movie at all. I'm watching this for a review. I went into this super not really anticipating to love this movie at all. And that has to do on the hinges that it's a Sony movie. It's not Spider-Man, so there is a big chance this movie's gonna be terrible. And if you're like me, you really hated Venom like I did, and I just thought it was an absolutely complete bomb of a movie. The director is known for doing Safe House and of course Life, and the writers are known for doing Dracula the Untold Story. And to be honest, the trailers did have some cool visuals in it. You have Jared Leto, who's actually a pretty good actor, and you have Matt Smith, who was a pretty good Doctor Who, and then you have like Tyrese in this. And this movie shouldn't be bad. It should be just an entertaining romp, maybe close to like a 90s superhero action movie or anything like Venom in a lot of respects. But I hate Venom so very much. I just was not looking forward to this movie. And you would think that in the 2 or 3 years that this movie was pushed back because of the pandemic, that this movie would have been tweaked, maybe fixed some of the problems that they were having with this movie and the problems that they felt with the story and the visuals, and maybe worked on a little bit. I mean, they had 2 or 3 years now to work on this movie, and now it's releasing on April 1st, believe it or not. But the first worrisome sign of this movie was going to be bad is they played the Uncharted trailer, which is not the movie's fault, but they played the Uncharted trailer before this movie, and Uncharted already came out. It came back in February. I try not to be so negative that, it completely just like disavows all logic and reasoning as being a movie critic, but I just have to say that this movie is actually worse than Venom, and I actually despise Venom very much. This movie is a complete abomination of filmmaking. It's filled with cuts that take out parts that actually would fill in the gaps of stuff that happens in this movie, so the plot holes and the absolute nature of whoever's editing this film absolutely makes this movie just almost so incoherent that it actually doesn't even make it a movie anymore. The logic and reason behind any character in this movie doesn't make any sense. Like I said, Morbius's character, Dr. Michael Morbius, is just an absolutely flat and boring and just 2D character. And that's such a shame because Jared Leto is perfect for this role. He feels like a Kiefer Sutherland in that vampire who needs some kind of substance, and everything about it, even with him and the visual work that's been put into his character and just the ideas and concepts, then nothing makes any sense. Why would you have to go to international waters to do this? Like, it's supposed to be illegal, but the things that work in this movie and how they work, it doesn't even make any sense. And how Matt Smith's, I think, Leo character, or whatever the hell his name is, how he transitions from his friend to the bad guy of this movie is absolutely atrocious. There are parts missing that would make it more coherent. It's a mess of a character. There's a point where he's dancing like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. It's that bad, and like I said, it's so over the place and so just incoherent and despondent and what it takes to make a good movie that it's almost laughable. I don't understand. You know, you have Jared Harris in this movie playing another doctor, and he's absolutely wasted. His character arc is extremely predictable in a lot of respects. There's a female doctor in this movie, I think is like Briarcraft or whatever her name is, and she's absolutely wasted as a person. She's just there in the movie, and she's supposed to be kind of a love interest to Morbius's character, but her arc is so awful. And then you have like Tyrese and Alan Madrigal, who play detectives that are like, there's stuff missing with even their characters, and their characters are just kind of thrown in there as kind of ways to track down Morbius, ways to track down the Matt Smith character, and even they are not given anything to do, and they have no responsibilities in the movie. And that's what this movie's main problem is. There's no responsibility, there's no ethics, there's no reason or logic or rhyme to anything that happens in this movie. And it's such a shame, because even the visual work, which has some really cool, really interesting concepts behind how Morbius and eventually Matt Smith's character moves, how they kind of phase shift out in different places, how they just kind of float, and you know, all this good stuff. And then I realized I've seen this before somewhere else, and it's in the Harry Potter movies. The way that everybody, you know, especially if you ever seen the last movie where Voldemort and Harry Potter like kind of fight with one another as they're falling through Hogwarts, that's the kind of fighting that you're seeing in this movie. It's almost a ripoff of everything you've ever seen in a Harry Potter movie. It's a phase shifting or whatever they do. But the idea of what Morbius needs is just convoluted, and then on top of everything, there is also dialogue that is ripped out of, you know, other Marvel movies and ripped out of other popular culture movies. It feels like these writers just didn't know what the hell they were doing, and it makes a lot of sense if you come from writing Dracula Untold and stuff like that. So I don't know what happened here. I don't know what went wrong. I know I'm not a big fan of the director. I don't fault him for taking on a project like this, because he was brought in to do this. I think there was different directors involved at some point, but I think he was brought in. They wanted a project delivered on time, on budget, and they got what they got, and they got, you know, the budget that they wanted, and they completely just bombed in every form or facet. And then on top of that, you got the two end credit sequences, which literally are two halves split that literally just don't lead to anything. It just, they bring in a character from another movie, and it's just, I just don't know what happened here. This is a complete crap show. It's a movie just filled with no love, no logic, no reason, no heart, no ambition. It's just a way for the studios to make money. They got my money apparently, and it just, I was sitting there with somebody that was sitting next to me that I know, that was just, he was enjoying it, and I'm going, why are you enjoying this? You're literally tearing down the levels of what makes good comic book superhero movies, and this is not it. This is as bad as like Daredevil and Elektra. I'm talking about the Ben Affleck stuff and the Jennifer Gardner stuff. This movie is just an atrocious atrocity. It really is. This is bad. One of the worst things I've seen this year, and maybe number one if it keeps going the way it's going. So that's it. That's gonna be my take on this film, Morbius. Absolutely atrocious film. Everybody who says it's bad, I 100% agree with them. So anyways, that's going to do it. That's going to be my take on Morbius. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this movie, let me know in the comments below why. If you hate this movie, you don't have to let me know, but I feel you. So anyways, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit the like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.